I have 1000 days on my hardcore war and I didn't beat the Ender Dragon. So today is the day to go to beat it. I start by making some Eye of Ender, a bow, a new sword, because that I have 1 durability, and now I think I'm ready. Here will be the stronghold. I know that's the first rule to didn't go directly down, but we just ignore it. And here is the stronghold. Where is the portal? I break my sword with you, but there is a little problem. I don't have 11 Eye of Ender, which are mean something bad. Okay, I will destroy the spawner. We have to go back home to get another Eye of Ender. To be even better, I didn't have any other blaze rod, so I have to go in another fortress and beat some blazes. And still no blaze rod. What's happening? Finally we got one. And now I have enough Eye of Ender. At that time I'm better prepared because I took some obsidian and also rockets. After 1000 days, finally we start the end portal and we go to beat Ender Dragon. So we are here. I don't lie, it's a hard battle to beat the Ender Dragon with a simple bow and an iron sword and an armor which is not strong. And also the Endermans are representing a big problem. But that was my choice, to try to beat the Ender Dragon in that hard way. That was incredibly close. And finally we beat the Ender Dragon. That was a very hard battle for me. Because I didn't have any good enchants and 2 strong items, but finally we did it. And how much XP I make? I don't know if I make 5 levels of XP, but that battle was crazy. I really start to think that I'm stuck in the end, because I almost ran out of arrows and unfortunately I didn't beat it just with iron sword, I use mostly my axe. But we beat it. Now is the time to go into the bigger end, where there is the portal. Why is the portal above the void? I make a little platform under it. Now is the time to go into the bigger end, where again it's not a good place. I have some dirt and I hope I manage to go closer to an island, because I see that island is the closest one. And we are at the island, so I try to go as close as is possible. And we are at the island. Finally far there I see the first entity, and I'm lucky enough to have a boat. And there is another one. I want to explore the entity because today's goal is just to get the Elytra. There is obsidian in the ship, and here is the Elytra. Breaking tree, some interesting enchants on that, and just a breaking tree again. Gold, that's good. And here is the Elytra. Finally we get it. And why not the dragon head? So for the first time we place the Elytra, and from now on we could finally fly. Now it's funny to see all the bridges which I used to travel from one island to the other one, because now with the Elytra it's much easier. I gonna flew back directly to the main island, but the durability it's gone very fast. The main island is around 1000 blocks away, so I hope I could manage to get there with that durability. It's incredible to be able to fly. The first thing home is to buy a mending book and place it on the Elytra. Now we finally can see everything from here up, and our place are look beautiful. The iron factory, the emerald factory and our village. The easiest way to repair it will be with XP from the trading, and just with 2 trades I repair it. Now that I have the Elytra, we need rockets to travel. For rockets we need 2 farms, a sugarcane farm and a creeper farm. And in today's episode we're gonna do the sugarcane farm somewhere here. I make one, but that is small and I didn't produce that much. And for that we begin by collecting cobblestone for pistons and observers. I collect some of the required materials, but something important is missing, which is the mud. And unfortunately we didn't find any mangrove forest close. But thankfully we have the Elytra and it will make our search much easier. After a bit time I finally find a mangrove forest. I get some mud and I think that will be enough. We can begin the work on the factory. I start with the collection system by placing the hoppers, and on the hoppers I have to place the mud, like that, and as a source of water around the mud I will place stairs with water inside it. Then I continue by covering the water with building blocks. Then the pistons, blocks behind them, the observers and redstone. But now I have to do it on the entire building. I finished to place the pistons and the observers for the first layer of the sugarcane factory. I placed the glass at the exterior part and I will plant the sugarcane. But now is the time to work for the second layer, which is done. Now is the time for the third layer, which will be a bit smaller, and I will do it just in the interior side. And the last layer of the sugarcane farm is done. Now it's just the time to start to work on the exterior design. I finished the outer frame of the sugarcane factory and I use a lot of quartz for it. But now the next thing will be to get some ink sac, to make some grey color, and then light grey, to make some concrete and transform it into solid blocks. I need all of that concrete to place it behind all of the quartz walls, which start to look great. As a last minute change, I think it will be better to use mud instead of light grey concrete because it have a better contrast with the quartz. So after I make a lot of light grey concrete, I take the decision to go and collect a lot of mud. I finish the walls and with the mud they are look great. But now is the time to work on the interior. I start with stairs around the mud and I think I will hide the hoppers with trapdoors, which I think will look great. Using some lime glass I finish the interior of the sugarcane factory, but now is the time to work on the entrance. For the beginning I start with some quartz and emerald blocks to use some green like the sugarcane, and it turned out to look very good for the beginning. Then for the ceiling I use even more emeralds and glowstone to light it up. Everything is done, but now is the time to work on the roof. I finished to make the roof adding some dirt, some water where I will place sugarcane, and in the middle I make a huge glass window, and now we just have to wait until the grass will grow on the entire roof. So when we go into the farm we can see the sky and the stars at the night time. Now the farm are look great, but something are missing, which will be some pixel arts about sugarcane. So in that way the pixel art will represent the farm. But the end of this project is far away because here in the back we have to do a lot of terraforming. So I grab some dirt and I start the work. I'm done with the outer frame, but I didn't want just to blend in that terrain with the existing one. So here behind I will like to do a huge rock kind of thing. In the middle of the work I got some uninvited visitors. I didn't want the rats, so I will just ignore them. The rock is done, and also I didn't forget about details. With coal, iron, gravel and andesite, and the pillagers are still there. I blend it with the dirt and finally that side of the building it's done. The storage of that farm will be just a double chest because all of the other sugarcane will go to a next system where I will autocraft fireworks for the Elytra. From the Emerald Factory episode, that area are feel so empty. So I think to fill it up with villagers, but at that time I think about returners, because in that way that area will be full of villagers again, and also a good place to get good enchants. I don't waste any time, so I start to make a bridge to the villager farm. I move in some villagers and I got some pretty good enchants, like efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, sharpness 4 and sweeping edge 3, also infinity and some protections, which will be very good for an armor. And for the last part of the episode I will make some better items and armor. With the help of our iron farms I get a lot of iron blocks, so I'm gonna sell some for emeralds. I got a lot of emeralds, and for diamond tools and diamond armors I will just buy it from my villagers, and I will not use my diamonds to craft armor and tools, and I will just use a grindstone to remove the enchants. After a lot of time I gather all the enchantments which I need for my armor and also for my tools. And now I'm gonna start to enchant all my armors. We start with protection, respiration, aquafinity, unbreaking and mending for the helmet. I will do that with all of the items and all of the armor. And I run out of XP. But the good part is that I finish my armor and also a big part of my items. So now I will go to my emerald farm. I took some iron and I start to sell it to get XP and also emeralds. I get all of the required XP and that will be my new armor, and that will be my new tools, and also a very powerful bow. To the end of the episode I finished to add the last details to that building. On the top I place some water, sugarcane and also vegetation, which I also do in the interior of the building. That was the episode, click here.